Have you ever noticed how some people instantly feel like your kind of person, while others, even polite, competent people, just don't? It's not luck, it's not just personality. It's called Ingroup Favoritism. Your brain quietly deciding who belongs in your tribe. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why your brain favours people like us, how it shapes work, friendships and life decisions, how to harness it consciously to expand influence instead of being controlled by it. In-group favoritism is the bias that makes us prefer, trust and reward people we see as part of our group. Groups can be based on culture, nationality or gender, profession, expertise or shared hobbies, beliefs, values or ideologies, even seemingly trivial traits like favourite music, food or sports team. This bias is deeply wired. It doesn't require logic or history, just a sense of belonging. We're always forming invisible tribes, even without realising it. Some ways include sports teams. Supporting a team creates instant identity. We're Manchester United, Leicester, Liverpool. Rivalries feel emotional, even violent, even though they're symbolic. What about nationality? People often trust those from their own country more. This shapes friendships, work opportunities, and even perceptions of morality abroad. What about race, ethnicity, and culture? Shared heritage creates comfort and trust. Differences can feel threatening, even unconsciously. And then religious and belief systems. Shared rituals, values, and community reinforce the we feeling. Feeling aligned can create rapid bonding, but also blind spots towards outsiders. What about profession and expertise? People naturally gravitate towards their kind. A lawyer may feel an instant connection with another lawyer, while feeling distant from a scientist. What about hobbies, interests, and lifestyle? Gamers, gym goers, artists, or even coffee enthusiasts form micro-tribes. Shared habits and language create trust faster than logic does. So imagine you walk into a bar in a foreign country. You spot someone wearing your favourite football team's shirt, and instantly there's a nod, a small smile, a sense of, yeah, we get each other. That's in-group favoritism at work, even before a word is spoken. And the key takeaway here is that humans are wired to find us everywhere, and the criteria can be almost anything. Henry Tajfel, a social psychologist, wanted to uncover how easily humans form groups and favour them. Participants were randomly assigned to groups based on trivial things, like preference for abstract art, or even a coin toss. Participants were then asked to give small sums of money to other participants. Despite the groups being meaningless, participants gave more money to their own group. They gave less or penalised the outgroup, even at a cost to themselves. They judged their own group more favourably. Participants were willing to maximise the difference between groups, even if it reduced totals overall. Loyalty to the group was stronger than logic or personal gain. The brain doesn't need conflict, history, or a reason to create us versus them. A simple label is enough. Language is one of the most powerful tools for signalling in-group membership. Humans don't just rely on visual cues. They talk themselves into tribes. We say things like, we like this idea instead of I like this idea. Framing requests as we need to ensure this is done instead of you need to do this. Even phrases like we agree create alignment and loyalty. What about mirroring and cultural language? Using similar vocab, metaphors or idioms signal shared identity. Shared jokes, inside references, or specific slang instantly create belonging. Think of cities like Liverpool and Birmingham. The slang used shows you're from there. What about in a workplace? Imagine a manager in a design firm. Instead of you need to finish this by Friday, they say we need to have this ready by Friday to meet our goals. Suddenly the task feels collaborative, not imposed, even though it is you doing the work. People respond with motivation and loyalty rather than resistance. And what about in politics? Political speeches often use we repeatedly. We must stand together. We are stronger united. Even when the group is abstract and large, listeners feel protective of it. Loyalty is triggered unconsciously. Words are like invisible threads that weave collective identity. They can foster inclusion and cooperation, but also deepen bias against outsiders. So in-group favoritism isn't just a lab phenomenon. It shapes our daily lives in subtle but powerful ways. Promotions often favour cultural fit over raw skill, rewarding familiarity rather than innovation. Leaders unconsciously reward people who mirror their habits, values or style, sometimes called mini-me hiring. Even neutral tasks framed as we instead of you increase compliance and motivation, but they also risk stifling diversity of thought. Trust forms almost instantly with those who share values, habits and communication style. Shared rituals, inside jokes and phrases like we're on the same page deepen connection faster than facts or logic. This is why friendships often start with small, seemingly trivial commonalities, like the same coffee order or a favourite show. Social media algorithms amplify tribal thinking, showing you content from your tribe and reinforcing in-group bias. Political polarisation thrives on simple language. We support this versus they oppose that. Outsiders are subtly dehumanised, and labels replace curiosity or empathy. Here's the tricky part though. Your in-group becomes part of your identity. Criticisms of your group feel personal. Loyalty can override logic or morality. Confirmation bias reinforces the tribe. You only notice information that aligns with us. A manager unconsciously hires people just like themselves. The team then feels cohesive, safe and efficient, but innovation stagnates. Inside the group it feels natural, but in-group favoritism quietly shapes every outcome, from promotions to project decisions. So how do we break free of this then? Because first of all, we need to know that awareness is key. Humans need belonging, but conscious choice expands opportunity. We should first name the bias. Saying this might be in-group favoritism makes it conscious. And then expand your we. Think we humans figuring life out instead of my people. Instead of my people versus your people. Judge individuals, not labels. Ask, who is this person really? Who do they value and what do they value? Would I respect them outside my tribe? And then use cooperation to dissolve bias. Shared goals reduce hostility and strengthen inclusive identity. In-group favoritism is like a river, powerful and natural. You can't stop it, but you can navigate it consciously. Expand its flow, let new tributaries join, and channel it for positive impact. In-group favoritism isn't evil, it's ancient loyalty wiring. The difference between thriving and stagnating is most people are unconscious tribalists. Few people are conscious choice, expanded tribe, freedom of thought. Imagine if your we included colleagues you disagree with, people from different cultures or backgrounds, ideas you've never encountered. Your empathy, opportunities and influence multiply. So next time you feel instant trust or distrust, pause and ask, is this insight or my brain favouring us over reality? Because awareness isn't just power, it's freedom, and freedom lets you choose your tribe and your life.